The most significant update to the EV tax credit we have seen since it has begun. 8 Teslas qualify per the IRS just announced which Teslas qualify, and the results may surprise you. A lot has changed over the past few months, and we've been waiting for direction from the IRS and the Department of Treasury on which Teslas qualified, and we just finally have a list of 8 Teslas that qualify, and now we know which ones in 2023 under the EV tax credit, a portion of the Inflation Reduction Act, are going to get $7,500. So a lot of prospective Tesla buyers are trying to decide, well, do I buy my car in 2022? Tesla just came out with a new incentive of their own, $7,500, to match the EV tax credit, and they made it even better by throwing in 10,000 free supercharging miles. So to take advantage of the Tesla credit, you must take delivery in December of 22, and these days are dwindling. So you're probably looking at 2023. Let's start with the first car that qualifies, the Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive. So the cap for sedans is $55,000, and later on, the Model Y, we're going to talk about some of the controversy and almost some of the surprising letdowns with the Model Y. But the rear-wheel drive now, according to this list, does qualify. There was some talks of the rear-wheel drive, the car that I have, not qualifying because of the battery components. But it is on this list, leaving some speculation that the battery components will not be an issue and the rear-wheel drive will fully qualify. Let's move on to the next qualifying Tesla, the long-range Model 3. So this car is currently not available currently on the Tesla website. As we can see here, we expect, and we've talked about this on other videos, we expect that long range to go back online, now qualifying. Again, these price caps must be $55,000 or lower, and that is the car's MSRP. But the MSRP for the long range was above $55,000, but this car is listed as fully qualifying. So we expect, and we talked about this as well in other videos, that new entrance price for the long range Model 3 will be $55,000 or lower, thus qualifying the long range for that tax credit. So here's where things get a little tricky. Now, if you're wondering about the Model 3 performance, well, that would not qualify for the sedan cap. Just based on the price alone, it's higher than $55,000. But where things get a little odd is the Model Y. So the Model Y, according to the EPA, is a small SUV, but the IRS doesn't agree. There are some Model Ys that now have a $55,000 cap, that same cap as sedans. So if you're unaware, there are 2 different specs of Model Y. You can get a 5-seat version or a 7-seat version. But according to the IRS, it's saying that all 5-seat Model Ys are going to be categorized as sedans, thus must be a $55,000 or less MSRP to get any kind of credit. And more confusing enough, if you spring for the 7-seat configuration of the Model Y, it is saying that that is an SUV, not the 5-seat version. But there's another part of this that is really confusing. The IRS has listed the 7-seat Model Y configuration as qualifying fully for that EV tax credit, but if you're unaware, they don't actually make a Model Y Performance 7-seat configuration, adding even more confusion to this complexity. This confusion with the new EV tax credit and all of the moving parts has caused a lot of Tesla owners to strongly consider, even now with days until the new year begins, considering ordering a new Tesla for delivery this month if there is inventory on the Tesla website in their area. But inventory is going super quick, with reports of all inventory for the Model Y being sold out and others having a hard time finding anything in their direct area for immediate pickup. So if you're confused on which Model Y gets how much money, the IRS is scheduled to give us more details in March of 2023 when it comes to that battery components criteria of this EV tax credit. Unfortunately, there's a lot of moving parts in this whole EV tax credit. When are you going to get that? Well, if you do qualify, you get $7,500 tax credit when you file your 2023 taxes, which would be in 2024. This was a surprise update. I want to make sure that you get the official list come March, so please subscribe. And also, I'm trying to grow the channel. I would really appreciate it. But one more thing. Last but not least, keep an eye out on that standard range all-wheel drive Model Y, the brand new version Model Y coming and approved in 2023. We're going to keep an eye on that because rumors were that that was going to start at $60,000. So will that price be lowered to now meet the EV tax credit? It does list it on here, so time will tell. Tesla had a banner year. They put on their Twitter that they expanded supercharging network to all 50 states and now reached 40,000 superchargers worldwide. Model Ys started to roll out in Berlin and Texas of this year as well. The Model Y and the Model 3 are listed as the most American-made cars. Tesla owners received 87 updates and improvements to their car, a unique feature over 11 over-the-air updates. They delivered their first deliveries of semis and introduced new colors to Berlin, the cherry red and quicksilver, and reached a milestone. 285,000 Teslas now have full self-driving. All of that in 2022 with this EV tax credit constantly, it seems, evolving. Big year in 2023, the brand new refreshed Model 3 coming. We've talked about that in other videos. That all-wheel drive, what's the price going to be for that brand new Model Y? Elon already confirmed new colors and so much more coming in 2023. I want you to stick around so we can talk about it all next year. Make sure to subscribe, hoping to grow the channel and do this full-time one day. When it comes to the EV tax credit and how much you're thinking about saving on this big purchase, I want to give you my thoughts on how much I pay and how much I save, some extra ways that you can save that I like to talk about. Something I have not talked about in a long time, that is trade-in values. If you're purchasing a Tesla, you might have seen in the past that they hold their values and even gain and appreciate value over time. Well, since then, the trade-in values of Teslas, I've gone through the exercises just recently. I've received quotes from Carvana, from Vroom, from others, and the price is pretty much coming down to market value. So I just want to make you aware of the trends of where these trade-ins are going. If you do have a current Tesla or you're thinking about trading in a Tesla or buying one with the thoughts of trading it in down the road, it seems that prices are evening out, and I just wanted to share that with you because I received quotes and I wanted to see, compared to the summer when they were really peaking, where they're at now. My 12 months of EV charging cost has finally come out with a new app update. So long story short, I pay around $825 to $845 a year to charge my Tesla at my house. Now, mainly you're going to charge at your house. So when you're thinking, well, how much money am I going to save versus a gas vehicle? If I get the EV tax credit, how much am I going to save on gas versus charging? You can factor in, I saved around $2,200 a year just based on the charging versus gas alone. And finally, I don't hear a lot of other channels frequently talking about the state rebates. Make sure to log on to Tesla. You can find your state and see which tax rebates are available. I mention this because my state of Pennsylvania has over tripled what they're giving for EV purchases. Mine was $750 and now it's $2,000 to $3,000 for qualifying EV purchases. So all that said and done, you have a lot to think about, and I want to make sure you stick around so we can talk about it more next year. And of course, the only way that I know you'll like this video is to drop a like and consider subscribing so I see you in 2023. Again, this is Matt from Frunk to Trunk. We will see you then.